Alright, so this is what we've done so far. Pause it and try to figure it out. There we go. That was for the recording, not for you, because you already got that part. Right. It's always very awkward when I'm recording something and I'm just like talking to a computer. It's very awkward when I'm by myself. It's even more awkward when 35 people are watching me talk to a computer for a recording. Hope you enjoy this. Okay, so part C. How am I going to start that out? X what? Is 8? Is it important that you change the sign? Yes. Why do I change that sign? Because I want this, when I plug it in, to equal 0. Yes. Now this multiplied out, I've got x squared minus 9x. Hopefully it's very obvious why we took the time to do this last unit, right? That way you remember how right now. Final answer for part C. X squared minus plus 72. If I'm asking for a polynomial, I probably should have a y equals in front of it. Like on that one, how I could write nice and big. It is not the case with part D. Don't write nice and big. With part D, here's what I'd probably do. Let's just write the factors first. I've got x what? Plus 2, x minus 2, x plus 3, x minus 4. I think on this one, it will say, I don't have to do the 2, and then take that with this one, and then take that with this one. I could figure out these two. Then I could figure out these two. So you got two separate quadratics, and then multiply those together. It's still not pretty. But yeah, it's still not pretty. Here we go. Okay, multiply those. Do you recognize the pattern on this one already? Just by looking at the x plus 2, x minus 2, do you see that that middle term is going to go away? Mm-hmm. Soon, I hope that we get there. That you can just say, oh, difference of squares, x squared minus 4. Like, we have to get to that point soon. But if I'm just distributing it, I'll have x squared, what? Minus 2x, and this one, plus 2x, minus 4. Those will go away, and this one, when I multiply those out, is just x squared minus 4. Yes? Yes? Do the same thing on the other one. X times x is x squared minus, say it out loud for me, 4x, 1x, plus 3x, minus 12, simplify that, squared, minus x, minus 12. Whew. All right, one more. Now I just distribute those 3 times, right? So the x squared goes to all of those. What do we get here? X to the what? 4 minus x cubed minus 12x squared. Do it again. From here, what is it? Minus 4x squared plus 4x, what? Plus 48. Final answer, y equals what? X to the 4 minus x cubed minus 16x squared. Let me give you a small warning. I have to give problems with your homework. There's more than, there's 16. Okay, sorry. There's not very much room to write on your paper, but I would just do a separate sheet of paper and number one for all your work, and then tomorrow we'll see what it's going to be. There's some problems, like numbers 12 and 16, which score you won't have enough room for. So fun. Okay. I didn't write it. Let's see. Okay. Moving on. If the given roots are not rational, so these were all rational roots, right? If they weren't rational, then we need to fill in some blanks. For every imaginary or irrational root of a polynomial, the conjugate must also be a root. So this is kind of important, and then I'll tell you what it means. Like we're talking in just regular talk. We know all imaginary numbers come in pairs, right? If I were doing, like yesterday when we were solving, like the one that we did, x equals 2 plus or minus I, right? That plus or minus. The 2 plus I, the 2 minus I, those are called a conjugate pair. If I know that 2 plus I is one of my solutions, then 2 minus I has to be. Does that make sense? Because of the plus or minus involved in the quadratic formula. Now, same is true with square root. Again, using quadratic formula, if it was like 3 plus or minus 2 square root 5. If I knew that 3 plus 2 square root 5 was one of the solutions, the other one would have to be what? 3 minus 2 square root 5. See that? Notice it's the I part, it's after the plus or minus that changes signs, not the 3 or not the 2. Does that make sense? It's always the second half that has the plus or the minus. So the conjugate of a number can be written as a plus b, and the conjugate of that number is a minus b. Okay, looking at this, write the conjugate of each number below. So on part A, if 3 minus 4i is one solution, the other one would be 3 plus 4i. Ta-da! You did it. Whoa, that was so fast. Hopefully all of them. Okay, the whole test is like this except for 3 of them. No, just kidding. Part B is 6 plus the square root of, or whatever that is. The other one would be what? Minus 2 square root 3. Done. What about part C though? This is negative 7i. Yep. D. 5 square root 2. Think that you got it. E. And F. Now the reason we care about that is that if I'm trying to build a polynomial, that this is one of the solutions, that means I know the other one has to be this one, right? Oh, there's not enough room. That means the other one has to be that one. I'm going to have to skip some of this. We're going to skip this one right here to give us a little more space. We'll do this one. And we will skip this one right here to give us some more space. That way you have an example of every type. Now these are my 2 solutions, and I wanted to write them in a polygon. We do just like we did on the previous page. We'll say x minus the square root of 14, and x what? Plus the square root of 14. Now this is going to be really ugly for a minute until you start recognizing the pattern. Notice this right here, this is just a monomial. Monomials tend to be a little bit easier. When you get to the binomials right here, alright, this is a difference of squares question. If I multiply x times x, I get x squared, right? X times the square root of 14 is the square root of 14x. And moving on to bottom row, minus, see how that middle term cancels when you have a difference of squares? So minus what? You have the square root of 14 times the square root of 14, it's just going to be 14, right? So that cancels and that cancels. What's my final answer here? X squared minus 14 y equals. Whew. Yes, yes. You need to show, highlight it, this step and that step. Fair? Yeah. Because to me, I see that as a difference of squares. I know the middle school cancel, I can go straight there. Harder to go straight from the problem to the answer. So answer, problem, and then the one in the middle. Let's jump to part B. So if this is is one solution. The other one has to be what? Negative 2i. Really quick, I need to remind you of something from secondary 2. Does anybody remember what I squared before? I squared is negative 1. So we are going to need to know that right now. I squared is negative 1. So, write this out. X minus 2i, x plus 2i. Are you okay with me that that middle term is going to cancel? Yes. Because you got that minus, that plus, everything else is identical. So how would I write that then if I know the middle term is going to go away? It's going to be x squared minus what? 2 times 2 is 4. I times I is I squared. Yes? Can I simplify that? I squared is a what? Negative 1. So I'm going to take that out and call it a negative 1. So this will be x squared, not minus 4 anymore, plus 4 equals y. Questions with that so far? What happens then? Really bad. What happens then if I give you a binomial that we have to do this to? Here, let's try this one. I don't know which one's going to be easier. Square roots or... Let's do part F. I don't know which one's better. Let's do part F. Okay, let's set this up. X minus what? 9 plus the square root 5. F, yep. So we have to say x minus this. What's its conjugate? Whew, what the heck does that mean? Is that alright though? X minus what I'm given, and x minus is conjugate. Is that okay? If I were to simplify this and get rid of that inner set of parentheses, could I just distribute the negative on both of those? So I could rewrite this as x minus 9 minus square root 5, and x minus 9 what? Plus square root 5. Now, is this pleasant to multiply out? No, it's miserable. I'm not delusional there. It's not fun. But this is how you do it. I'm going to take this x term and I'm going to multiply it all the way through. And hopefully after we do it a couple times, maybe we'll start seeing some patterns so we don't have to do it this way. But x times x is x squared. X times a negative 9 is a minus 9x. And then what? Plus square root 5x. I'll change colors so maybe it'll be easier to see. So that's multiplying the x through. Now let's multiply the negative 9 through. Negative 9 times x is negative 9x. Multiply these ones. Plus 81. I'll kind of tack it out to the side because it doesn't line up with anything else. And then this one, minus 9 square root 5. Is that okay? And unfortunately, we have to do it one more time. Multiply those. This is where I'm going to start seeing things cancel out, though. Because it still is a difference of squares problem, we should see things cancel out at this point. So, negative square root of 5x, which would line up right here, right? Right here would be 9 square root 5. Both of those are going to cancel, yes? Last one, minus, what will it be? 5. I can line it up right here. Because square root times square root is 5. So finishing this out, our final answer should be x squared from here, minus 18x from here, and then plus 76. I always hate, or equals y. I hate those questions where the work is like mega hard, and then the answer is x squared minus 18x plus 76, but that's pretty. Minus 5, because you have it minus times a plus is a minus, and then square root 5 times the square root 5 was just 5. Okay, let's do it again, but maybe we'll skip this top step right here. Sydney? As long as the number on the inside is exactly the same, yes. But if it was like 5 with 3, then it wouldn't. Okay, so let's write it again, but maybe skip that first step. Here's how I would write it skipping that first step. It would be x minus, and then this, right? Now if I were distributing that through, what would I do? It would be x minus 3 plus 4i. Is that okay? So I distribute negative 4i. Now the conjugate on this one is 3 plus 4i, right? So what would my other one be right here? X minus 3 minus 4i. Now notice on that one, the 3's are both negative, because it's the opposite of this, and 1 is plus, 1 is minus. So on both of them, the 3's are negative, because of the minus that comes with this, right, when you're plugging in the opposite. And then 1 is plus, 1 is minus, because imaginary numbers come with here. I'll just have you know, this was on your test. This is like this right here. And I said way too hard. Let's get it off. It's hard, but it's on your homework. And it's on your homework a lot. So let's make sure we can get this. Okay. For lack of making it not look like a complete disaster, which it kind of does right now, I'm going to get rid of this just to help with the clutter, and then this. Is that okay? Makes the problem look a little bit less insane. All right, multiply. Start with the x. X times x, x squared. X times a minus 3, minus 3. So nothing crazy so far. X times a minus 4i, how would I write that? Minus 4ix. Switch colors. Switch colors. Okay, let's do it again. Let's distribute the negative 3 now. Negative 3 times x. A negative 3x. Negative 3 times a negative 3 would be a plus 9. A negative 3 times a negative 4i would be what? A positive 12i. Is that okay? Okay, one more time. 4i times x is 4ix. 4i times the negative 3 is, I don't know why I can't, okay, negative 12i. Got it? A negative? What about this one? Negative 4i times a negative 4i would be a negative 16i squared. Negative 16 times a negative 1 is a what? A positive 16, so we'll put it there. Questions on any of those pieces? Okay. Now let's add them all together and cancel out what we can. So I've got x squared minus 6x. Those cancel, plus what? 25 equals 0. Now if you were to use the quadratic formula and simplify it, you would get c, like that right there. Equals y, right? Sorry, good way. You doing okay? I'm recording, so I don't want to play it. Okay. Woo. Now we can use everything we know about roots, so we're going to put those things together. Remember that night. So you will have probably 25 minutes to work on your homework. This is all we're doing today. So it's not like there's 17 things to do today. This is it.
Yeah, for like 25 minutes to get enough of these balls.
Yes, I told you it's miserable. Preaching to the choir here. I understand. So, example 4. On problem A, what other solution or what other roots could there be? Is it for sure that there's a negative 3? No. Is there for sure that there's a negative 8? Nope. Because those are rational. Which two come in pairs? Only the square roots and only the imaginary. So the only other one I know is a root is the negative square root 2. The only one for sure is another root. Does that make sense? The 2 doesn't, or the 3 doesn't come in a pair, the 8 doesn't come in a pair. Looking at this one, If 4 square root 2 is a solution, what else? Oh, that's, yeah. Trying to decide if I want to do that. Yeah, this is the last page of my notes. Okay, if that's the solution, what's another one? Negative 4 square root 2. Does the negative 6 have a partner? No, because it's already rational. Does this one have a partner? 9 square root 3. Great. Okay, jumping back to part A. The easiest way to do it, this is going to be an x to the 4th, right? Because there's 4 roots. So I'm going to multiply these two together first. Is that okay? And we're going to get something. Then we're going to multiply this next. And we're going to get something. And then we'll take whatever we get from those and multiply those together. I jumped from A and now back to A. Okay. The reason I jumped from problem A to problem B really quick was because I wanted to point out, just give you another shot at seeing that this doesn't have a partner, this one doesn't have a partner, so that one does. So now let's go back to here. Multiply this out. I've got x squared, then what? Minus 8x, then what? Minus 3x, plus 24, you get x squared minus 11x plus 24. That's the first one. You're all close to that one, right? It always starts to rain right before my son has to walk on the school. Okay, this one. This one's a difference of squares, right? So on this one, I can kind of skip some steps. X times x is what? X squared. The outside and the middle will cancel. Are you okay with that? Yeah. Why do the outside and the middle cancel? Because they're opposite. This one is square root of 2x. This one's minus square root of 2x. Do they go away? Yes. Then, negative square root 2 times a positive square root 2 is a negative what? 2. Negative square root 4, which is 2. Negative square root 4. Yeah, hold on. Stop talking, please. Shh. I don't mind doing it again. Please don't moan or complain in the talk. If I'm multiplying these two, negative times a positive is a negative. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2. Okay, now what? Now we're going to distribute. I'm going to take this one and go backwards the 3 times. Is that okay? Uh-huh. Last. We'll do it last. Ooh, really? We'll do C next, for sure. Okay, this one. So, x squared times x squared is x to the 4th. X squared times a negative 11x is a negative what? 11x cubed. X squared times 24 is 24x squared. So far, so good? Okay, now let's multiply that negative 2 out. Negative 2 times x squared is negative 2x squared. Negative 2 times a negative 11 is plus 22x. Negative 2 times a 24 is minus 48. Simplify that. I actually lied. We're not going to do part B. I would rather do a homework problem with you than that one. Okay, simplify. What do we have? Y equals x to the 4th minus 11x cubed plus 22x squared plus 22x minus 48. Besides it being a long, miserable process, Are there any questions or concerns? I know that there are complaints. And the complaint's probably that it's long and miserable, right? But how many places are there to make a mistake? There's a lot of places in there to make a mistake, right? But you survived long division. You can do hard things. Let's do another one. Okay, part C. First of all, what other roots should there be? Okay, hold on. We don't have time to do a different conversation. Part C, is this going to be a cubic, a quartic, a quintic? What is it? Does 4 have a partner? Does 6 have a partner? No. Does the negative 9i have a partner? Yes. What will it be? 9i. Woo. First step done. Right? Second step. Write them in their linear factors. So do that on your own. See if you can get it. X minus what? 4. X plus 6. X plus 9i. X minus 9i. Okay, any questions with that step? Now we multiply. Again, when I have 4, I like to multiply the first 2, I like to multiply the last 2, then I'll take those ugly and multiply them together. And create a big ugly. Or a little ugly. Okay. So multiply. X times x is x squared. And you've got a plus 6x minus 4x, yes? Minus 24. Simplify that. X squared plus 2x minus 24. I feel like you're an old pro at that by now. Like, whew, done. Yeah. Hope so. And on this one, multiply those two. You get x squared. That one minus 9i. This one plus 9i. So again, why are those middle terms canceling? Because they have opposite signs and everything else is identical. So they will cancel. Then you have what? Minus 81i squared. But I need to change this. Instead of I squared, we'll have a negative 1, right? So this is no longer a minus 81i squared. It's going to be a plus 81. So right here I've got x squared plus 81. Now if you remember from last time, we took a shortcut, right? Like last time we were together. We had this. Because it was a positive, I knew it was x plus 9, x minus 9 with i's on the end. That was our shortcut from last time. Now we're just doing the reverse. Jane? Now, why is it not 9i? Oh, it is. I just missed the x. Thank you. Anna, did you start to see something? Was it Anna? Am I wrong? Was it Sydney? Somebody. It didn't sound like pain. All right. Somebody started asking a question. I'm moving on then. Okay, now that we've got this, what am I going to do next? I'm going to take the binomial and I'm going to backtrack it this way. I find that if I only have to distribute 2 numbers, I'm less likely to make a mistake. So x squared times x squared, x to the 4th. X squared times the 2x plus 2x cubed. Times the negative 24, negative 24x squared. Okay, looking at the 81, do it again. 81 times x squared, 81 x squared. 81 times the 2x, 162. And then 81 times 20, I have no idea. 1,944. So what's my final answer? Y equals x to the 4th plus 2x cubed. Then what? Plus 57x squared plus 162x minus 1944. Go math. Go math. Yeah. Okay, one more. I just want to do one like, so these have been hard. I just want to do a really, someone's phone's like flying up. That's an emergency then. Okay. Oh. You'd rather do a really hard one from the homework? Of course you would. Get out a sheet of paper. Well, they're not a really hard thing. Next time, maybe next time. If everybody tries 12, then I will do it next time. But if nobody tries 12, then I'm not doing it. You'll just have to do it by yourself. Yes? Where's 11 thing? Oh. Okay. Negative 2i, 2i. I would say no, you're good. Okay, first of all, number 10 lists their pairs. So number 10 is going to be an x to the what degree? Okay, so what are my matches? This also has a negative 2 square root 2. This one has a what? Negative square root 5. Right? Is that okay? Yes, no? It's in the problem. So this is the problem, 2 square root 2. Its conjugate would be the negative 2 square root 2. Okay, so set this up. X minus what? 2 square root 2. X plus what? X plus what? 2 square root 2. This is a difference of squares question, right? X minus square root 5, x plus square root 5. Multiply the first two. X times x, x squared. Are you okay that that term and this term will cancel? The outside and the middle will cancel because of the difference of squares. Yes? So then all I have to do is multiply those two. But how do I multiply 2 square root 2 times 2 square root 2? Ooh, I don't know. 2 times 2 is 4. Multiply those two. 2, so that would be what? 8. So is it a minus 8 or a plus 8? Ooh, what? Minus 8. Why is it minus? Minus times a plus is a minus. Okay. Well, that one was faster than I thought it would be. It's not too bad, right? So again, one more time in case you missed it, because that was really fast. Sorry, hold on. I'm backtracking a little bit. Okay. So again, what did I do? X times x is x squared. Remember that? It's a difference of squares question. So the outside and the inside will cancel. I'm not even going to write them down. How do I know they're canceling? Because it's the exact same, but one is minus, one is plus. Okay? Yep. Now, when I multiply those two, 2 square root 2 times 2 square root 2. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, so those are gone. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2, so those are gone. Simplify that, minus 8. So there it was a second time. Okay, let's do this one now. X times x, x squared. The outside and the middle will cancel. And then what about this one? Minus 5. Good. Why is it minus 5? Well, negative and a positive is a negative. Square root 5, square root 5. If one's negative, one's positive, yes. Okay, questions on that? Okay, so now we do it one more time. X squared times x squared is x to the 4th minus 5x squared. Everything okay? Plus what? 40. Don't look down, you'll miss something, right? X to the 4th minus what? 13x squared plus 40. Okay. That's it. Thanks for watching. Peace out.